Dead, where evil lurks in every shadow and monsters roam the streets. Mankind's only survival rests in the hands of two Welsh warriors. Armed with boomsticks, chainsaws, bad language, these beacons of hope will stop at nothing to obliterate deadites, vampires, psychotic nurses. So, hold tight, strap in, and let the professionals take charge. Otherwise, you're in for a rough, blood-soaked night.
Hey! We're live again. All right, good.
Not too bad. I'm a bit rough today, so bear with me, all right? I'm
What's
not all
wrong?
there.
Got the lurgy.
Yeah.
Got the COVID. Yeah.
How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I wouldn't say I've ditched the horror t-shirts, but because my mic is always in the way, I figure no one gives a shit.
Yeah, because the way you're sitting is kind of cut off by there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can still kind of see my awesome They Live jumper.
Yes, it is a good
Shout
jumper.
out hell on shirts.
Yeah.
Not a promotion.
Like, I haven't given up on it, my horror t-shirts. I've got about 6 in rotation. I think you've got about 60 in rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when we go to HorrorCon next month, I may pick up some new kit specifically for the
Yeah, you have
pod.
to. There's too many stalls there. Honestly, it's insane.
Yeah. Which celebs are you going to have a picture with? Have you decided yet?
Well, 2 of the celebs I wanted have dropped out, but there's I've had to skim it down from like 15 to like 7.
Yeah, it's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, and I have, because I've done a few cons this year, I haven't actually started buying my guests for that event yet, so
Yeah.
I've basically got next pay now to get all those. So I've had to scale it back a bit, but yeah, there's a few musts there, definitely.
Well, there are only 2 I want to see.
Linnea Quigley.
Yes, Trash from Return of the Living Dead. I have to see her. And Lynn Shay from Kingpin.
From Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on a Plane. I watched the other day and I forgot she was in it. She's also in, right? Now, you may not know this, Running Man. She's like she's an extra. Now,
I didn't know her, but I did actually watch her a couple of months ago. First time.
Yeah, she's an extra. So basically, in the sort of comms room when they're looking at the TV, you know, all the monitors behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They just pan across and she's just there, and it's like, oh, and
Yeah, she played a bank teller the other day. She was literally just in one bank scene, and I can't even remember what film it is now.
Yeah, I did think about seeing Keith David, but I only really like him.
He's cancelled.
Oh, what? Oh, I thought you meant he's cancelled, like he's done something dirty.
No. So that was my bucket list. You've got The Thing and They Live, two of my favourite movies.
And Rick and Morty, he plays the president.
Hey,
probably the
Me,
best
Myself
character.
and Irene.
Yes. No, he's not in that. He's in
yes, he is.
Something About Mary.
Something About Mary, man, yes.
Come on. Yeah, he's the president in Rick and Morty. He's becoming one of the best characters in it. He's this horrible, like, selfish president. I can't remember his name.
Because the majority of his career is voice acting, isn't it? Like, if you look in his IMDb, the majority of his work is voice acting. But,
yes.
Should we read some comments, Jenks?
Yes. I'll go first, so let's get him on. So we got Jill John. Hi, guys. Nice to see you back live.
Nice to be back.
I know it's a bit earlier today, but these 8 o'clock ones are killing us, aren't they?
Yeah. Especially on a Sunday. Evening, Wendy. Thank you.
Ben. Oi. All right,
oi,
Ben.
oi.
Thank you for this. We got Abigail. Evening, guys. Evening, Abigail. I've been. Do you know what? This is our 4th live, is it? Our
4th,
own show.
5th.
I think it's our 4th own live. We jumped on a live with Wolfman Got Nads last week, but I don't know why. Even though I enjoy doing these, I still get a bit nervous. I don't know.
Yeah, every single time. It's that waiting, because you're sitting in the waiting room and you know people are waiting. Not many people, but
not many people. Yeah, I don't know why we get nervous.
I know.
Yeah, but they say, see, when you start live, you just gotta do a show for nobody. Doesn't what you've got to build and build and build. You don't expect a massive audience. We're building from the ground up, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Watch any films apart from the ones we've reviewing today, Kurt?
Oh God, I've had a quiet weekend, so loads. I watched Snakes on a Plane yesterday.
Is it because I said I watched the other day? And
Yeah.
It's quite good, isn't it? Even though it's shit.
It's hell of a fun movie. It's got some ropey CGI. I watched Lil Nicky in bed this morning, and it was the best morning movie ever. 4 stars, boy. Easy 4 stars.
It's shit.
Amazing film.
Do you know?
You can't beat Tarantino's cameos in that.
We're gonna die.
And I've watched Django today as well. So my girlfriend had never seen Django. I thought, Sunday morning, we've got the whole day. Now it's time to get a 3-hour film out the way.
Yes. Oddly enough, the worst part of that film is Tarantino's cameo.
Oh, come off it. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Do you know, right? Going back to Snakes on a Plane, when I watched the other day, because I rewatched, I don't know if I told you, I rewatched Infested, the spider film, the French spider film. I put on for my friend Ed, right? And because he's shit scared of spiders like me, so we were just making all sorts of noises. Oh, fucking hell. And I thought then about Snakes on a Plane. I thought, do you know what? I enjoyed Snakes on a Plane, but if you imagined you had Infested, but it was snakes, I'd enjoy it probably, but it wouldn't be even remotely as close to, to as good as to have the fear of spiders.
No,
I don't care about snakes.
And it's not just that, is that spiders are a lot more agile as well and faster.
Yeah.
Like if you've got loads of spiders flying out of a wall, it's 10 times scarier than a snake slithering out of a wall. Now, it depends obviously where your phobia lies.
Yeah.
But Infested needed the spiders, 100%.
Do you know what, right? I think, like, for me, I would trade my fear of spiders for snakes any day, because you're not going to get a spider on your pillow or in the shed unless you live
you mean?
Sorry, a snake. You know, there's a chance now while we're live that a big spider could just drop on my head, a giant one, and you would witness me screaming live.
See, I don't even have like the slightest of fear of spiders. I will pick one up easy, like no fear at all. That's not bragging. I'm just saying I'm not scared of spiders.
There's
like,
nothing
they
to
can't
brag.
hurt you.
No, there's nothing. Yeah, if you're not scared, there's nothing to brag. I hate when I say I'm scared and somebody picks one up as if they're brave. It's like, you're not scared. Why is that brave?
Yeah, exactly. Because there's other things that I'm scared of that probably you aren't. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, snakes. My daughter's got a pet snake. It's not a scary one. It's one of those corn snakes. It's like
you
pink.
haven't shown me. I love snakes. You haven't shown me that.
Well, it's in her bedroom and she's 14, so you know.
Fair enough.
You're a strange man. You're a strange man with a moustache.
Oh, I'm family, all right?
Can I see a snake? I was going to say something worse then. Show you my snake.
But he said it anyway.
I said it anyway. No, everyone's thinking it. They're not gonna miss that opportunity. Hey, we're talking about my daughter. That's disgusting. Right.
8 people just dropped from the live. We've just gone from 18 to 10.
Is it? Oh, well. No. All right. I thought you were serious. Anyway, we got cancelled. Paul, are you watching from PPH Lodge? PPH is Prince Philip Hospital from our hometown. Obviously, we only know that reference. I don't think people in America will know PPH.
Oh, PPH, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll read a couple more. Frank Riker.
You legend. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, dude. Right, we've waffled enough about snakes. Should we do our first review?
Yes, 2 seconds. Just a quick shout out to Frank, who's just popped in the comments. Frank and his mate Darren, they run one of the best YouTube channels on YouTube. Go check them out, guys, if you haven't. They're called the Slaughtered Lamb Podcast. One of the best channels, and thank you so much for jumping on, pal. I appreciate it.
Apologies, Frank. I didn't realise you were that Frank.
That's what I was going to say. When you press past, I was like, that's Frank.
I just thought it was one of the many Franks that pops by, yeah? Okay, we're so inundated with Franks. Okay, give me a break. Right, where was it? Oh, yeah, first review with the night. We're doing, it's a little bit late. We're a little bit late to the party, but it's just life is gets in the way, and we're doing Speak
Your
No
life
Evil.
gets in the way, yeah. Jenks is the one that was on holiday, right? I was ready to review this film 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you were on your own, like that. I got nothing to talk to. Speak No Evil is it came out. Hang on, yeah, it came out about 2 weeks ago now, I think.
Yeah, it's been out about 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a remake of a Danish or Dutch, I've forgotten now. Danish film came out
2022 Danish movie.
22. We saw the original. It is awesome until the end. Yeah. And I would recommend nobody watching it. Just go straight to the original. It is absolutely awesome. I'll let you kick off the review, but I'll just give it a bit of background. Stars James McAvoy. Now he's dipped his toe in a little bit of horror himself. Not much. He's done Split, and he's done Chapter 2. Sorry, It Chapter 2.
Come off it,
Slip of the
Jenks.
tongue. So yeah, do you want to kick this off?
Yeah, of course. So this is a new film directed by James Watkins. James Watkins has done a few horror movies. He's done the amazing Eden Lake. He also directed Daniel Radcliffe, The Woman in Black, which I think is a great remake. So I think giving this guy a remake, you think it could be good. He's done it before. And oh my God, he has absolutely knocked this movie out of the park. Like you said, this one stars James McAvoy. You've got Mackenzie Davis and Scoot McNairy, who take up the main roles in this movie. But they're all good in this movie, right? But James McAvoy is probably one of the greatest actors working right now. His performance in this movie is so captivating and scary. It's the reason I hold this movie in such high regard, because it's a kind of movie that's been done a lot. It's nothing new. It's quite a grounded, basic thriller where you've got two couples and their kids. They meet on holiday. They get on. And you've got Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie Davis, their characters. They're kind of bewitched by this couple because they're everything that they want to be. They're romantic, they're fun, and they're charming. So when they get back home, they invite them to their home in
the West Country.
I can't remember, it's West Country, yes. So they're American living in London. They get invited to West Country. But the second they touch down in that home, it has got some of the most edge of your seat moments I've ever seen. And that term gets thrown around a lot. But when I was watching this one in cinema, I really was just on the edge of my seat the whole movie.
For me, when I watched it, I tried to switch off from the original because it's a strange remake, because the original, though it's Danish, it's in English because there's a Danish couple and a Dutch couple, so they speak English so they can communicate with each other. The only time they speak their native languages is when they're on their own as a family. So it's subtitled, but it's an English-speaking film. But so I was trying to switch off from there because even though most of the film is very similar to the original, lots of the
shot
beats,
for shot,
lots of beats the same, slight improvements here and there, but I tried to switch off from the original because I didn't want to compare it. So when I did that, I started loving this film, and like I mentioned earlier, the biggest problem, obviously I'm not going to say what the ending is of any of these films, but is the ending of the original is horrible, not in a good way. We hated the ending. We watched this together and we had a feeling that, I wonder if they're jumping on this remake to do a genuine remake. Let's just give another stab at it. We don't have to wait 20 years because it's a foreign film. We can jump on a remake straight away. And they changed the ending exactly how we wanted it to be, and then some. Do you agree?
Yeah, of course. And that's not giving anything away. It's just a more satisfying ending.
Oh
now,
my God,
people have complained that it's an Americanized ending.
So what?
But I'm a fan of shock cinema. I love grim movies, and sometimes it's what's needed. But considering how good the original was, I was so disappointed with the ending.
My God.
And going into this one, I had that similar feeling. Now, it's just as intense. It's just as crazy. But it just gives us that sweeter ending. It gives us something better.
Yeah.
But this is the movie that comes along. And I watch countless of movies every week, right? And I can watch a movie and say I loved it, and then I'll go on to another one. But every now and again, a movie comes along, and when it finishes, I watch all the behind-the-scenes videos. I watch all the interviews. I rewatch all the actors' films, and I just want to take in everything I can about this movie. And you're looking into the directors of the films and what the actors have done. And that's what this film has done this year. This is probably the first film of this year where I've watched it and I've been obsessed with it, rewatching the trailer, watching all the interviews. It is, in terms of thriller movies, an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I agree. I loved this film. And do you know what? When you've got an ending so satisfying, I don't mean it's fluffy and it's all, like when people say it's Americanized, that just means that just means it follows a really good structure. It's not arty-farty. It doesn't, like, in my opinion, in a lot of films, right? Now, when they got really obscure endings, like the arty-farty ones, and the director says, well, it's up to your own interpretation. A lot of the times, I think they just can't think of a satisfying ending, so they kind of end it abruptly, and it's like, oh, it's art. You don't have to do it. If you've got a kick-ass ending, use it. And doesn't matter how...
100%.
You know, like with Game of Thrones, you know, they made... Spoiler alert, they made Bran the king, and you're thinking, so you didn't guess. Who cares if we guess? We want a satisfying ending. You can guess most endings, you know. You can guess any sort of film where you think, oh, you're bound to survive. Who cares? You can still enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, of course. And that's the biggest problem with most things, is just trying to catch you off guard when it's like, no, even if I guess it, it's still a good ending. But in terms of what I'm ranking this movie, an absolute 5 stars, because if I'm looking at a thriller movie and solely a thriller movie, I haven't seen much better than this one. It's an absolute 5 stars for me.
He is jacked in this. I think he's still jacked from Glass, probably, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's like, I saw him in an interview the other day promoting this with Mackenzie Davies, doing the hot ones, and he's not jacked then. He's quite skinny, and you're thinking, oh, that's convenient.
Do you know what's crazy about his performance in this movie is that we know he's bad and we know he's going to do something bad to them people, but he's so charming and he's so convincing that you believe that they will stay, because the amount of times that they want to leave, and James McAvoy works his magic, and he gets them to stay, even though you know, like, no, get out of there, you kind of believe that they would stay if you were in that situation. It's just his 360 in this film. He's constantly changing. It is one of my favourite thriller performances of all time. It's up there with Kathy Bates.
Oh, that's strong words. Strong words. I'd like to see them on a date. See who kills each other. Do you know what he said? He's James McAvoy. He said he based his character, on Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I think Andrew Tate might be a bit eviler, though. I think he might be a bit worse.
Well, I can't speak for that, but I thought, oh, that's a mad way. Most people, either they go for somebody like a real person in real life who's like a monster who's killed people, or like another card. Like I based it on Kathy Bates from Misery, and I combined it with so-and-so, but he clearly straight up hates Andrew Tate.
100%. Like, if you're out there telling people you based it on him, you kind of know he's a shady character.
I love this film. I will give this a 5 stars.
Yes.
There's my camera. A big fat 5 stars. It's not the first 5 stars of the year, but it's going to be close to my favourite film of the year. And not just favourite horror film. I mean, we mainly watch horror films. But you know, there's sometimes we won't review, like if Transformers was 5 stars, we're not going to mention it. But yeah, I give it 5 stars. I loved it. I love the ending. It's so good, and it's quite a big chunk, the ending, you know? The third act there's so much to do, and there's no lag in it. It's not like a lot of them do like 2 third acts, like, okay, he's dead, then he's back, and then again, then something else happens. It's too much. This is just right, and they nail it. And like, I'm sure there might be flaws if you analyze it, but I never saw any flaws of like, as if you do that, why would he do that? Yes, it might be. We're not, but I didn't see any. But I was loving it, so I didn't really care.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it is at the moment my favourite movie of the year. I don't think it's going to be topped. There is a few months left, but there's not that many movies left this year now. Maybe Nosferatu, if that delivers. Yeah. I think Nosferatu could be up there. But as it stands now, this is my favourite movie of the year. Fantastic film.
Maybe me as well. So it's still in the cinema. So that's the reason why we didn't want to skip it, because it's not like, oh, it's out of the cinema now. Just catch it on Netflix. It's still in the cinema, still doing the rounds. And it's doing okay, but horrors, it's hard to tell because they have low budget, so they don't have to have high box office,
Yeah, of course.
But yes, highly recommend this film and skip the Danish one. Maybe watch it after this to compare, because you may be put off if you watch the Danish one first,
Yeah, you can just go into this one.
I think so, yeah. Let's read a few more of these. Do you want to read these, Kurt?
Flats, movies and pop culture 13. Jill, John.
Where are we? Flats, movie and pop culture 13. Hi, Jill. Oh, hang on. I skipped his message. Sorry. Hi, Curtis and Steve and everyone. Hi, dude. Flats, movies and pop culture. He's got a great channel, very similar to ours. To be honest, all horror channels are pretty similar. We all talk about the same horror.
Yeah.
Got different people's different opinions, but we all kind of love the same shit and hate the same shit. But yeah, check his channel out. It's really good. He's a good guy. Right, should we move on to the next? Hang on. Who's this? Vicky. The trailer made me so uncomfortable. I need to go and see this. Yes, please go and see it. It is awesome.
Yeah, highly recommend it. I've only just figured out how to get comments up on the screen.
Okay, so our next topic is Salem's Lot. We're doing a trailer reaction. Now, I know that's not the poster. It's a cool poster, but there's no poster. And I searched Google, could not find anything. I mean, am I wrong? Could you see anything out there pop up?
I haven't really looked, to be honest, no. But yeah.
So as you know, I'm a massive Salem's Lot fan. I love the TV show, the miniseries. I love it. I haven't read the book, but I do know a lot about the book. And the Kurt Barlow character, the sort of terrifying Nosferatu-style character, isn't in the book. The Kurt Barlow is more of like a Dracula, like handsome and charming. He's not like an animal. So I wonder in the new series, will they revert to the mini-series Kurt Barlow? Do you?
No, I don't know, but they have to. I feel like it's the same with It, is because the old one was so popular.
Yeah.
They kind of have to run with that now, because obviously It is just one of its forms, and quite similar in this case is that I feel like that version of Kurt Barlow is too iconic for them to revert back to the book now, because the majority of people who watch it will be looking at a remake of Tobe Hooper's. Do you know what I mean?
But they did remake it about 15 years ago, and they did have...
with Rob Lowe, yeah?
Yeah, Rob Lowe and Rutger Hauer as Kurt Barlow, and they did the book version. But it wasn't successful.
Flopped.
Yeah. I see your point. But I got to say, this is a cool artwork, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no poster. Now, I've heard... Now, I haven't seen the trailer yet because I don't really like... I'm not as... I've heard good things about it, but I've also heard bad things. I've heard they just dumped it on HBO because of... It's not very good.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? Is this movie was made and complete about 2 years ago. Stephen King had seen it, and everyone knows, right, that Stephen King is the hype man. Every single movie that comes out, Stephen King's got a quote saying, "This is the best movie of the year." Now, Stephen King has watched it, and he said, "I've seen Salem's Lot. It's kind of good," which doesn't give me much hope.
Kind of good. Oh.
Yeah. Doesn't give me much hope. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I'm sure that's what he said. But the studio shelved it for 2 years, could not get it released, and now they've just chucked it on HBO Max. So we will see how it turns out, but I'm quite optimistic. I think I'll always keep my my expectations medium in these cases, you know?
I just don't understand. Like, they say they shelved it, and, it's made by Warner Brothers, so surely they could distribute it themselves. Why do this? It's not as if, like, you've got a film and nobody wants it. I don't understand.
Well, it's not about people not wanting it. It's about them not wanting to release it by thinking it's not good enough.
Oh, yes, I see. They're going to do like like a Batgirl and just get it disappeared. Look
at the new Toxic Avenger. People have actually seen it. It's been shown in film festivals. It's got really good reviews, and it was made by good people. It's got good actors in it.
Yeah.
And apparently we will never see that movie, which is just insane.
I know. Well,
Because they even dropped a trailer.
yeah, I know. I didn't really fancy it, but it's trashy, and I think it's more your cup of tea than
Yeah,
mine.
100%. Yeah.
Not to say I
I love
wouldn't watch-
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. Right. So we're gonna look at the trailer now, because of, like we did last time, if you because of copyright. What's wrong? You're making a face. Oh, yeah.
Drinking that, buzzing.
What is it? Whiskey.
Straight whiskey.
Straight whiskey. Ooh. Yes, because of copyright issues, it's murder. We keep getting flagged up. So we're gonna chop the trailer up. So apologies. We're not doing it just for drama, so we can hear more of our voices, just so it doesn't flag up. Okay. So apologies.
Yeah.
That looked so good. Oh my god.
I love the aesthetic.
Oh my god, with all those
looks
people
great.
around his tree house then. Awesome. They're going to invite him in, see? Can't. Just going to pause here. I'm not going to talk through this bit, but there's no top in the original scene where they're going to do. I mean, so far, it's so right up my street. Oh my god. I mean, if it's shit, then the guy who made the trailer is a genius. 'Cause
Yeah.
he did polish a turd if it is shit. Again, if you just joined us, apology, we're just pausing it because of copyright issues, okay? We're not being dicks.
You are, I'm not.
Yeah, okay, fine. Wow. That looked absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But
But
there's been so many instances, right, where I see a trailer that good and I get my heart broken.
yeah.
I remember the trailer for the Pet Sematary remake.
Oh,
and it's not
Bloodlines.
an awful
Oh, no, the
film.
remake, sorry, the remake.
Yes.
It's not awful.
It's not an awful film, but I watched that trailer and I thought, yes, this is the new generation Pet
Yeah.
Sematary. And this trailer's got that same vibe, so hopefully it delivers. And I hope it's a long one. I hope it's at least over 2 hours. Like it has to be, just to get
Yeah.
everything in.
Do you know, with the Pet Cemetery one though, the rights they were gonna lose the rights, so they had to put that out quickly, and so I forgive that a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Apparently
Is that why
so.
that's probably why they did Bloodlines then?
Well, how it works with, like, I don't know if you know this, but how it works is that if you don't use it, you lose it. So you got to keep on.
Yeah.
Otherwise the rights revert back to Stephen King or the studio.
Yeah, of course.
That's what happens in Hellraiser. They keep churning them out. But I don't know about Bloodlines, because obviously Pet Sematary, maybe it made enough money to justify another one. Maybe they thought, oh, actually, there's a bit of. I watched Pet Sematary, the remake, the other day. Again, I've seen it. It's not a bad film. It's decent. I think a lot of people shit on it, and I think they're just comparing it to the original. And I think it's a half decent film. Yeah,
Half decent, yeah.
half. Right, we didn't see any sniff for this guy in that trailer, did we? So you
No.
know, and if I were to make a trailer, I would at least tease him, in some form, and like, and I
Yeah.
show him like just the cloak and go, oh, I can't wait for this. There's not a sniff, so I don't know if you're right about him. I don't know if he's going to be in it.
What, at all?
Well, I think there's going to be a Kurt Barlow character, but maybe it's the original type where, like, it's the.
Oh, I hope not. I mean, there's still a lot in Salem's Lot, because we're saying this, he probably has about, less than 10 minutes screen time with the 3 hours it's on. So if he's in there as little as he's in the original one, it won't make a massive difference because the rest of it looks so good.
I know, but it's like not having Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice is not in it much, is he?
Well, it's a bit different though, I think.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is Beetlejuice. I think this, like I was going to say, is there's so many other great characters and scenes in these movies that I think it can be carried without him. But he's going to be in there, so I don't know why we're going into it, but he's going to be in there, whether he's going to be handsome and dashing or he's going to look like Nosferatu.
Well, you don't think he's handsome and dashing,
Oh, I was talking about that version. I was talking about that one. He's the handsome one.
I
love a bucktooth.
I believe he's the greatest on-screen monster ever created.
What, monster? Vampire, yeah.
No, just the look of him. He's the scariest thing ever to be on screen. Do you tell me what's scarier than him?
the lady in black from Insidious.
Well, she's scary, but do you know him, Kurt Barlow, his performance, Reggie,
No,
something his name, and Nalda.
Yeah, I love that film. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. He's a great monster, and there's so many creepy scenes, specifically the jailhouse scene where you get that
God.
quick flash of him.
Yes, yeah.
No, he is one of the best movie monsters. I don't think he's one of the scariest, but he's great.
I love it. Honestly, every time he's on screen, I just can't wait for every scene. I love Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot is a masterpiece, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And again, we say masterpiece all the time. But there's the little details in Salem's Lot I love. Like, there's a scene when they go to the house in the end to kill the head vampire. And they go into the basement where all the vampires are sleeping. Yeah, it's like a hatch.
Yeah.
And do you know, there's all the vampires, they're not all neatly sleeping. Some are sleeping like that.
Yeah.
Some are just sitting up as if they just crawled in as quick as they could while the sun was going down. And those sort of things like that make me think the director really cares. You know, he understands.
It's the little details, yeah.
Little detail. I love it. But yes, so I think I'll be checking this out. I don't care if it's shit.
1,000,000%. It's always worth the chance.
Definitely. Mike Flanagan vibes. This looks way better than I expected, but yeah. And a little bit of It vibe. The little kid, we got to kill them. I think they're thinking, we can maybe get an It vibe here, I think.
Oh, definitely. But this is what's funny, right, is obviously Midnight Mass specifically was Salem's Lot vibes. And now I feel like the success of Midnight Mass can propel a Salem's Lot remake because Midnight Mass was so popular.
Yes, like we were saying, I mentioned in another feed that Cloverfield is a take on Godzilla, and then Godzilla came back out because of the success of Cloverfield.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Right, should we move on?
Let's do it.
Right, so our next topic, we're doing a review of, this is going to be controversial, and it's going to be impossible to review, is Strange Darling. Now, I'll give a little intro and we'll have a chat about it. I saw this morning. Now, my local cinema wasn't showing it for some reason, so I had to go all the way to Swansea. 25 minutes in the car, disgusting. When I could walk to my local cinema. Anyway, I watched it at 5 to 10, which is really early, and I got to say, I was in heaven. There was nobody else. There was only 2 people in the cinema, and it was just great being that early. Because in the cinema in America, the cinemas, I don't know about Britain, but they open at 7 a.m. I'd love that, see. You know, nobody else. I totally get up that early. Anyway, so...
definitely.
Strange Darling, we both watched it, and it came out Friday, I think it was.
Friday, yeah.
It's had rave reviews, lots of festivals, I think Cannes screaming about it. And it stars Willa Fitzgerald. Now, she has been in a few horrors. She's also been in...
Scream series?
Jack Reacher, but horror-wise, Scream.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I know. I'm ready, boy. I'm prepared. Okay? And Fall of the House of Usher, our man Mike Flanagan. She plays the young lady at Usher. I forgot her name, but she's a very beautiful young version, very, very manipulative character. And it stars this dude, Kyle Gallner. And he is... Now... This horror is so popular that every single actor has done some horror. But this dude, okay, has done a lot. Check this out. So this guy's been in The Walking Dead. Probably everyone's been in The Walking Dead. He's been in Haunting of Connecticut. He's the little kid in it. He's been in Freddy, the remake, which was a piece of shit. Do you know when I saw this, Miles Teller, I thought he was Miles Teller. When I saw Miles Teller, I thought, Miles Teller was in Freddy. And I was thinking of him.
Kyle Gallner.
Now, because Miles Teller's so famous now, I can't see the similarities. But back then, in my head, I couldn't differentiate the difference.
Yeah, of course.
We saw he was in Scream 5. Now, don't get me started. Why didn't they just call it Scream 5? It does my fucking head.
Yeah, I know.
Because look at that. Look at the M at the end. There's a V basically there, isn't it? Can you see?
Yeah, exactly.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm going off topic now anyway, but he was in that, and he was in a film we watched not together in your house, Passenger. Now, I can't remember if I liked this film or not. Can you?
bored out of my head watching it.
Yeah, and he's also in more recently Smile, and supposedly he's in Smile too. Didn't know that, but
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, on to the film. I'll leave you kick it off, Kurt. That was a good shot of her.
So this is a very hard one to review. It's quite a
Yes.
secretive movie.
Very.
I went in completely blind. I didn't know anything about the plot. I just knew who was in there. And the only thing I had going into this movie was how much everyone was raving about this movie. And the film opens, you get this message saying shot in 35mm. I was like, yes. And then you see it's got chapters. I thought, oh my God, Tarantino, this film's going to be amazing. And it lost me about 20 minutes in. And I never recovered. I never got back into the film. I feel like, without saying too much about the film, it's a cat and mouse movie. You've got a girl on the run, and you've got a guy called the Demon, played by Kyle Gallner, who is chasing her. And that's where the film starts. She's in trouble. She's running through fields, running into houses, and he's chasing her in his car with a gun. And that's kind of where the movie starts, and it's in 6 chapters, and it kind of jumbles its way through the chapters, right? Showing you different things that happen over the last couple of days between the two of them. And I don't mind non-linear films. I don't mind films that mix up the narrative. Now, that was my biggest problem with this movie, is that I was just constantly being taken out of the story, because the movie starts with this massive scene, and then it cuts back, and then it cuts back, and then it goes back to the big scene. And again, it's just hard to talk about this one because I can't go into too much detail. The main thing I will say is that I feel like it could have been a really good, well-made thriller movie, but it was held hostage by the reveal they wanted to give you by mixing up the chapters.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I had a different experience completely. I loved this film. I thought it was absolutely flawless. Every single beat of it I loved. I loved the twists. I loved the mix-ups, the chapter mix-ups. And the story is very straightforward. Like you said, it's a cat and mouse film. It's a very difficult one to review because you can't give away almost anything. You have to just give the gist of the plot. Willa Fitzgerald is absolutely brilliant in this film. She is absolutely amazing, and it's a shame that so many Oscars go to like non-horror and stuff. She is so worthy of one. She steals the show in this film. But,
she is good in it, but I hated her. I just didn't enjoy watching her character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. But again, I honestly, every beat of this I loved, and I was very surprised you didn't like it. Maybe because you're full of cold, you had a bad head or something. Maybe you watch it when you're feeling better, and you're like, "Oh, actually, I love this film," because this is
definitely
this is so Tarantino-esque, and not like a rip-off, just the style of it, and it's not style over substance. There's a lot of action in this film. It's not confusing. It's not obscure of like, oh, you have to have your own take on it. It's very like everything that happens you can see. It's not anyone can watch it, but I loved it. I left the film humming the song in it, the main song. I won't go into it. Like I couldn't get the film out of my head on the drive home this morning. I absolutely adored it.
Oh, see, that's crazy to me because me and my girlfriend did the same thing. The film finished and we looked at each other and I was like, didn't hit at all. And by the time I got home, I'd kind of stopped thinking about it. It just didn't do anything for me. I hated the characters. I didn't enjoy watching them one bit. And like I said, people are comparing the linear strategy to Pulp Fiction. It's not. There's loads of characters. There's loads to go off. Everything is up and done in that. And this, I was constantly being taken out of the plot.
Yeah, well,
and
sorry, carry on.
No, I was just going to say it completely took me out of it.
I think, where people compare it to Tarantino is that there's lots of films that put films in different order. You go back and forth. TV shows do it a lot to speed up the action. I think where it seems like a Tarantino is that they use physical chapters, chapter 6. And I think people compare it that way. With Pulp Fiction, though, it's very different. You've got 3 or 4 different stories running and they're all interlooping. This is just one neat story. Yeah. I loved it. I got to say, it was brilliant. And I give this 5 stars, 2 5 stars in one video.
See, that is mad to me because you are the fussiest person I've ever met in my life. for you to give a movie 5 stars, it has to be the best movie ever made. And that is nuts, Jenks, because it's nowhere near a 5-star film.
I don't know. I think you're wrong.
I reckon you'll drop a star on that one.
Put it this way, right?
5 stars, Jenks. That is mad.
This is how good this film was, right? I felt sorry for you when you told me you weren't keen. I felt sorry for you that you didn't have the same experience as me. But again, I'm not going to try and change your mind. But when I first saw Gladiator, right, I was full of cold and I didn't enjoy it. I swear, honestly, I'm just saying now. I'm not lying. I was like, oh, that's all right. And it's the best film ever made. Give it another chance, Kurt. I know you like watching films a million times. Give it another chance.
I definitely will. Just the same as I'll give Longlegs another chance.
Yes.
Maybe I will like it. To be honest, this one just about scrapes 3 stars for me.
Ooh, 3. Well, that's 3.
That's only because it has flashes of greatness. You've got some great violence in there. And the twist is cool. I just wish it was told in a different way. I felt like it was held hostage. If you look at my letterbox, I give it 2.5 stars. But
2.5.
It's closer to 3 stars than 2. So, 3 stars. Maybe on a rewatch I can bump it up to 4. Who knows? But I didn't enjoy it at all.
Right. When it comes on stream, man, you've got to watch it again. Yeah? Definitely.
Yeah, I will.
Because
I've just rewatched In a Violent Nature. Loved it just as much.
Funny enough, I watched another film you weren't that keen on. Was Late Night with the Devil. I stuck it on for my missus. It was great. I enjoyed it the second time. That's another one maybe you should give another chance.
I don't know what's wrong with me this year. I feel like it's always me arguing with you because I've loved a film and you've hated it. But I've been off this year.
Yeah.
There's so many films you love that I didn't get on with. And
yeah, I know.
I don't know. Maybe I'm going through things. I don't know.
I wonder if it's, since we've done the podcast, your brain is seeing films differently, like you as a more of a reviewer. And
definitely. Yeah. Because I'm looking at films differently now. For obvious reasons, because before the podcast, I wouldn't even star movies until you told me, until we made that chat where we were reviewing films. I wouldn't even give movies stars. I either loved it or I didn't like it or I thought it was okay. I struggle to give movies stars because I'm like, well, if I loved it, it should be 5 stars. But if I'm comparing it to Pulp Fiction, I'll go, well, it's not as good as that, so maybe it's 4 stars.
Yeah, because
let's read some comments because there's loads that have come through.
You do them, Kurt, then.
Yeah, I'll do them. It's fine. Right, I'm going backwards now. Yeah. I was really disappointed. Something was missing for me. I really didn't care for any of the characters. Yeah, spot on, Ab. I felt the exact same way on that one. Hi, everyone. Chunky Geordie. Hiya. How you doing? Don't forget to send the like button some love, people. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Cheers.
There we are. Kyle Gallner was in Veronica Mars for 2 seasons.
I
never watched that one. I never watched that. I'll definitely give it a watch. Yeah, you'll bloody love it. It's refreshing that you have different opinions. That makes a great podcast. Yes, it does. Yes. And I do get excited when obviously we've got different opinions because it's boring when we come on here and we're just both raving about the same film. So,
agree. And also, Curtis almost fainted. I texted him the other day and I said, do you want to do a street trash review? And he was like, oh my God, because spoiler alert, it's a piece of shit. Curtis likes it. So we're gonna go toe to toe. Probably not gonna have any views on it because it's not a very popular film, but it might be a small niche we'll take.
I've noticed watching people's opinions on films has changed the way I look at them. For instance, everyone loves Scream 6. I was really disappointed. I hated Scream 6 and I love all 5. I thought they're all equally good, the first one being the best. And I put 6 on and I really disliked it. I couldn't get on with it at all. So, yeah.
Do you know what I do with reviews?
Maybe if I watched it when I was a kid, I would have loved it.
So if there's a film that I I'm going to watch anyway. It's a new Spider-Man film out. I'm going to jump on it no matter what. New Evil Dead film. I might be
Yeah.
curious to see what people think, but in general, I will never read a proper detailed review.
No.
Because in case even though I might still like it if they shit on it, they might point out things and I might not have noticed them. And because you can get put off by a film if I point out enough flaws and then you want looking for them flaws, whereas you may not have noticed them before. And I think, and I tend to watch reviews afterwards. Then only the ones, positive ones.
100%. What I'm doing is you type the film into Google and you look at that bar underneath that says like IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. I'll have a quick glance at that, but I would never go into detail looking at big reviews. You've got the snippets and stuff.
Well, years ago, many years ago, I used to no. Years ago, I used to look at Rotten Tomatoes, and I'd only look at the critics' score. I just thought, critics, no. I never look at the audience score. This is going back 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And critics have got so biased about certain things that I've stopped trusting critics, and I've tended to trust audience. Now, if it's a bit of a balance, if the film's not controversial, then it'll tend to be on a par, and that's a sweet spot then. But if you got like critics 95 and audience 2, you're thinking, this is obviously some sort of diverse, progressive film that the critics are too afraid to say anything about. So I don't trust them anymore.
Or too snobby.
Too snobby,
I absolutely. Yeah. It's nice when a film comes out and it's got good reviews across the board, but I don't listen. I've stopped listening to critics ages ago, and specifically Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's one of the main things that's ruining the industry, because what studios are doing now is when they're looking for potential candidates to direct a movie, when they're hiring a director, they will genuinely look at their last few movies' Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Really? That's terrible.
Yeah, and base it off that. So say, for instance, you've got Tarantino, he's done Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, and Pulp Fiction, right? But then he directs a dud, which he hasn't done, and it gets terrible reviews. They may look at that and go, but his last film, it didn't get great reviews. Look at this, it's got a 10% Rotten Tomatoes. People aren't going to buy this guy to direct this movie. So I actually hate Rotten Tomatoes, although I do look at it and I do like to see the scores high.
For curiosity. But oddly enough, it's like, I don't trust them, but then when they praise something I like, I'm like, Rotten Tomatoes agrees with me. It's ridiculous. But because I didn't mention it, but Strange Darling's got high critic and audience scores, and I never mentioned it because I was thinking I don't really trust thing, even though it's like a good metric when they're two. But I just think you can't trust them. And these people say, review bombing. It works both ways. Say if it's some shit show, but a Star Wars show comes out and it's a piece of shit and everyone's giving it 1 star. And they say, it's review bombing. But then you'll see a pile of 5 stars. So it's like, well, it's the opposite review bombing. They're doing 5 stars and 1 star. So it all balances out.
Yeah. Do you remember when me and you sat down and we went through reviews on, I think it was Mrs. Marvel, Captain Marvel, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
And how generic all the 5-star reviews were. Good, very good. I liked it. Good film. I like this. It's good.
Yeah, it's
every generic. It's insane.
It's bots,
you're telling me that movie's got 90% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, somebody's just busting through like loads. Good guy, or just probably AI doing it. I just don't trust it.
Thanks for jumping on, Mark. Thank you, pal.
Right. We're whizzing through tonight, I gotta say. Right, so we do a Q&A.
Let's do it. Yeah, so we'll just, like always, we'll do a little Q&A at the end. If anyone wants to chuck any questions in, we'll just have a little chat. And then, obviously, once it dies down, we'll probably call it a day then. But, yeah, if anyone wants to chuck any comments in, guys, anything you want us to answer, anything, you want to give us, chuck it in the comment section. So hopefully we can keep it going a little bit.
Yes, but we're a new channel, so we probably won't have any. And I won't cry live.
Have more faith, Jenks. Come on.
Do you know I used to play, I can't remember if I played with you, the Rotten Tomatoes game where we'd pick a shit film and you'd have to guess what the score was on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, you would never pick like something like Schindler's List. You'd pick something like Street Trash, for example, and see what it's got, if it's even on there.
Yeah.
And it's such a good game. And whoever gets the closest. Dawn's on for us. Dawn, hello guys. OMG, sorry I missed out most of this. Was having a carvery. Num num.
I hope it was the best carvery you ever had.
Yes. Oh, hang on. We got a question. Abigail, what's your next cinema watch? For me, it's The Substance. I'm going... No, sorry. I might watch The Substance tonight, actually, because people are raving about it. It's one of the best body horror films, but they raved about Strange Darling, and you shit on that. Gets it right. Get some more paracetamols down you, and Horlicks, and then watch it, right? I don't trust it.
I'll always give films another go. Always.
No, I'm saying don't watch Substance until you feel 100%, okay?
Yeah. That's a long one as well. It's on for over 2 hours.
Wait for next week. I'm going to watch it tonight or tomorrow. It's a Scream Unseen in Odeon. I think you're watching that as well now.
Yes, of course I am.
Now I
forgot all about it.
Well, I booked the last one. I forgot to go.
I chose not to go, right, because I had guessed what film it was, and I knew it was on for a long time, and it didn't start till 8. So I was like, I'm in work in the morning. There's no way I'm getting home past 11.
It was The Substance, wasn't it, you said?
Yeah.
And we could have watched that. It's meant to be awesome.
I know.
I'm gutted, but
I think I may end up missing that one in cinema now, to be honest.
Really?
Especially with
time?
I mean, I want to see it, but to be honest, films over 2 hours put me off a little bit in cinema. My bladder's too shit, and I get uncomfortable after an hour and a half.
Well, I tell you, right, when I went to Swansea to watch the Strange Darling this morning, it was on 10 o'clock, and I thought, if Substance is in, I'm going to go straight to watch it. I'm going to have a cinema day.
Yeah.
But it was on at 1:30, and I thought I can't hang around for like 2 hours after the film.
No, it's not worth it.
No, I'll wait. Right. Yeah, so that Substance would be my next film I'm going to watch, or possibly whatever film I see tomorrow. Now, you love trying to guess, or you look at the clues of what the Odeon Unseen is. I like a surprise.
I already know what it is. Yeah, I know what it is.
Seriously? Don't tell me.
No, I won't tell you because I know you like the surprise. But I figured out. Well, to be honest, I figured out. I look in the comments basically because I'm not good at getting the clues.
Dawn, if you could get one of your books made into a film, which one would it be? Is that me?
Yeah, so I'd say that's addressed to you. Can I pick one of your books as well?
You go on now. You pick which one.
First Burn the Dead.
Burn the Dead.
First. I love it. It's the first book of yours that I read properly, and it's got such an awesome concept. I feel like it's a movie that could be made with a fairly decent budget.
Yeah.
I love one location movies, and it's set in that one estate, and obviously you've got all the different locations, obviously in the different houses. But I love the concept. So basically, the book Burn the Dead. Is this weird, Jenks, that I'm telling people about? I know.
It's my book. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, kind of crack on. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I'm asking. So Burn the Dead is basically about a zombie apocalypse, a post-zombie apocalypse. So society has gone back to normal, but you've got a group of people or a company who remove zombies and burn them now in a factory.
Yes.
And it's about a guy who burns the dead. And he arrives back home one day, and his estate has been cornered off by the people he works for with his family inside. And there is so many great moments in that book that are just perfect for film.
Oh, appreciate it.
Touche, Jenks. I love that book.
Well, that was weird. Now, if you just joined us, he's talking about my book, not some film he watched. Yeah, appreciate that. It was it's my most successful book by far. And the sequels are pretty good as well. But I loved that book. And of all the books I've come up with, it's the only book that I came up with the title first. Normally the title's an afterthought, but I loved the title Burn the Dead, and I thought, oh well, it's about a guy who burns zombies, and they kind of built. It was a short story first of all, and I built on it. But yeah, that would be probably my choice as well. But I'm very much a movie.
You love zombies though, don't you? So you kind of want to see that.
I love zombies, but I'm also a wannabe filmmaker, and I often think which of my books would be the cheapest to make, and that probably wouldn't be one of the cheapest. Probably one of my ghost novels, like 14 Days or Eyes on You. But yeah, I'm just plugging you now. I'm going to stop. But yes, that's probably my. Let me look at any questions. Sorry. Tyler Markham, love Salem's Lot book series. That preview was killer, but it's still gonna temper my expectations. Fingers crossed. Yes, that's probably.
I'm
good
in the
idea.
exact same place. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. If you could have any of your characters for 21 or 24 hours, which one would... So if you could be... Sorry, I'm terrible at reading. I'm going to write in. Shit at reading. If you could be any of your characters for 24 hours, which would it be and why? Who won the question you had earlier in the week for recommendations? Curtis?
So you won, and we've already recorded, and I'm currently editing Hellraiser. So... Thank you, Don. You did chuck a few out there, and we went with Hellraiser because we both recently watched it and we both love that film. So Hellraiser will be coming out next Wednesday, and we will give you a little shout out on the video as well. So thank you for that, Don.
Do you know as well, you probably won that because you know exactly what films we love and what kind of, if you said like Schindler's List or something.
Yeah.
Be crying if I have to do that. Yeah, thanks, Don. Burn the Dead is awesome. Thank you, Abigail. It is awesome. I'm not gonna be modest. George Romero has 3 written scripts for the Dead series. Would you like to see them made? I would. Yeah, I would. Depends who's making them all.
Yeah, there's something. I've read something in the news.
It's Queen of the Dead. It's about drag. It's about drag queens versus zombies.
Silence. There's silence.
Yeah, I know.
I have heard, yes, that there's... I'd love to see him get made. Obviously, if they chucked it in the hands of someone capable.
Yeah.
Tom Savini has directed an awesome
Yes.
George Romero remake, Night of the Living Dead. He's getting on a bit now, but he could do it.
What happened to Road of the Dead? That was supposed to... It was like about cars or something, and zombies. They were knocking zombies down or something.
Like Mad Max versus Night of the Living Dead, yeah.
I heard that. Maybe it was going to be a graphic novel series. I could be wrong, but I read on something that Queen of the Dead, and I thought, oh, I bet you any money.
That guy was prolific. Fair play to him. He was doing it right up into his last days.
Do you know what I would say about... I was watching a bit of Walking Dead today, the Rick and Michonne series, The Ones That Lived.
Yeah.
And it's not too bad at first. I switched it off because we're doing the podcast, but it made me think about George Romero's first 3 films. And I don't think any other film, like apocalyptic film, apart from his 3 films, have invoked so much dread of, like, you feel at the end, it is the end of the world. That tone he gets in the first 3.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, of course.
And a lot of films get him close, like Mad Max or something. But this one, to me, it feels the closest of, like, you can see the genuine, like, this is the end.
Yeah, and there's no going back.
No going
Regardless, why are you trying to survive? The world's over, and it's never going to go back. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. He's got that down to a T.
Yeah, because unless you got rid of the zombies, it's never going to end because people are going to keep on dying, and it is the bleak, especially Dawn, because you've got the TV companies on their last legs, and that feels more grounded. I suppose Day is a bit more like, underground.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so Dawn is Mold, really gory as it is on my list to buy. Now, Mold is one of my other books. It's about a guy who sees dead people, not super original, but everywhere where the dead are, he sees mold on the walls, like a black sort of thing. It's not really mold, but he calls it mold. It smells, and yes, it's not super gory. If it was a movie, then I suppose it would be a 15, but not particularly gory. The second one, Devil, is quite graphic, but yeah.
Mold's a cracking one.
Whoop.
You're welcome.
Cheers,
It was a great recommendation. We had fun doing that one, didn't we?
Yes.
Good review.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But But yeah, although you had a bit of a cry because your mic wasn't perfect. You were like, oh. You were doing this thing about Hellraiser being tortured by your microphone.
Yeah.
You don't know what I've been through. This is hell for me. Abigail, if you could direct any remake, what should you choose? So I think she's talking to you because you're a bit more of a director than me because I've never directed anything.
It's the most boringest answer I'll ever give you, but Evil Dead.
You'd remake it?
Yeah, he's well, I mean, not because it needs to be remade, but if someone's asking me, do you want to direct an Evil Dead movie, just the same as Fede Alvarez directed a remake and then...
Well, I would... Okay, well, that's fine, but
I'm saying is, that would be my dream job, to remake Evil Dead or continue Evil Dead into a new story. But
I think what she means is there a film out there that you think needs to be remade? I mean, you'd love to direct. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, if you could direct any remake, what would you choose?
Okay, all right. Well, answer my question then. What film would you like to be remade and that needs a remake?
So is the original crap or is it just outdated?
It's up to you. Whatever.
So there's one movie that always comes to mind. I would love to be made into a remake. Is Cujo. Now, I love the original film. It still looks good, but I think that movie is prime for another remake. My only problem with the original one is that, and I know the book does it because I've read the book, it does play into the human relationships a lot. A lot of the book is based on the mother and her husband. She's having an affair. And the film, the first 40 minutes, does really lean into that relationship of them in the house and her husband cheating. No, she's cheating. And then once it kicks off and you've got the dog, Cujo, it's great. But I'd love to see a fully fleshed out remake of that one.
Do you know what? And do you know what would make it even better, the remake? A really bad CGI dog.
Yeah, I know.
Really crap.
Well, there was rumours that there is a Cujo remake in the works and it's going to be an AI dog. AI gone wrong.
What? Oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a robot dog.
Like a robot dog gone wrong.
I thought you were going to say Andy Serkis as Rover, the dog. On all fours. He'd be actually fucking brilliant, probably, wouldn't he? Yes. Where are we now? Right. Dawn, I love the new Walking Dead. I watched Rick and Michonne. I'm loving Daryl's. I'm terrible reading out loud. I'm on
Daryl, loving it.
Yeah, do you know what? And I miss Walking Dead once it finished. Oh, I'm old. Sounds great. Thanks. So for me, like I love zombies, and I loved Walking Dead. I loved 7 and 8 were shit, right? 11 was okay. It didn't end that satisfyingly, in my opinion, because they were in this kind of what was the place they were staying in? Have you seen season 11? Oh, you didn't finish it, did you? Well, anyway, in season 11, they end up in this like town that's sealed off, and it's like very much back to normal. They got ice cream in it and stuff, and then they find out then that the mayor of this town or the governor is corrupt, and you're thinking, who cares? It's fucking zombies outside. I don't give a shit. And they say, oh, are they trying to compare it to like modern politics? I don't care. It's zombies. Doesn't give a shit. But the reason I haven't really jumped on to like Dead City and things like that is because I kind of needed a break from zombies. Like 11 seasons. That's why I've never watched Fear the Walking Dead. I've heard good things about it. It's too much. But it's just too much. So I'm going to wait for a few years and then jump on them. Like I didn't even finish the Last of Us series because I just finished season 11 of Walking Dead. I just needed a break. So I don't like them. Yeah, but great podcast. Oh, thanks, dude.
Thank
Appreciate
you, Ben.
That.
Yeah, Cujo's an absolute classic.
My Chucky Geordie.
Rosemary's Killer, The Prowler could do with a remake. Do you know what? I have actually showed that to my girlfriend about 2 weeks ago. It is one of my favourite slashers of all time. Some of Tom Savini's best work. I feel like this is the movie that really got him noticed. It has got some of the gnarliest kills you will ever see. Rosemary's Killer, aka The Prowler, one of the best slashers. And Tom Savini also did The Burning too. So another great practical effects horror movie.
Do you know, right? I love, no big spoiler, I love Return of the Living Dead, okay? And yes, you could remake it and make it a bit slazzy and stuff, but it'll never have that same charm. But saying that, I still watch it. There's an
of course you
audience for
would.
it, and I'll either hate it or love it, or just look at it as a different zombie movie. But I don't know, some things you just leave alone. I think unless you can improve it or dramatically change it, don't bother. Don't make it the same. It's pointless, in my opinion, you know? Bit like
Yeah,
a song.
100% agree with you. It has to be different. And that's why I enjoyed the Child's Play remake with Mark Hamill, is because they tried something completely different.
Yeah.
And AI works for that because
Yeah.
it's a toy. And I thoroughly enjoyed the remake. I think it's nowhere near as good as the original. I know you don't care for the original either.
No.
But I thought it was a fantastic remake and super violent as well, which was I weren't expecting.
Now, I've seen the remake. I didn't hate it, but I forgot about it straight away. I didn't have anything bad to say. It was one of those films. I like Mark Hamill. He's a good voice actor. But some things you should leave alone. Like
Sometimes dead is better.
Dawn of the Dead remake, Texas Chainsaw remake. There was a lot of people shitting on that before it came out because they were like saying, "How can you remake it?" But in my opinion, they did something different. They didn't just rehash it. You know,
Yeah,
Texas
100%.
The original Texas Chainsaw was very like almost like a snuff movie, very guerrilla style sort of filming. Whereas the American one was very slick. Now that's not a bad thing. People, it's too
Yeah, but
mainstream.
they kept that grit though, didn't they? Like it somehow I think it's greasier than the original.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Tobacco
Greasier.
chewing. Yeah. And Dawn of the Dead, very tough one to remake. So he just made a balls to the wall action zombie movie that was loosely based. So you can enjoy both of them, you know. And Evil Dead's the same.
Tom Savini's got beef with Zack Snyder for calling it Dawn of the Dead because it's so different. What everyone's saying is that it's not a remake of Dawn of the Dead. What you've done is you've made a zombie movie and you've stolen George Romero's title.
Yeah, and
Which
set
it
it
is.
at dawn.
Yeah.
I suppose. But again, you know, yes, okay, it's easier to market a remake, but it's so awesome.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Dawn, I agree. Commonwealth, that's what the name of the Walking Dead facility was. Didn't like the ending too, and not what I expected. Do you know what the problem with the end of Walking Dead is? That all these spin-offs were already set up and advertised, so you knew who's going to survive because he's in a fucking spin-off. You know, so it didn't feel like a true ending. You know, you thought, well, I know nothing happens to him. There was like 3 or 4 spin-offs. It's ridiculous. Dawn, I love Dusk Till Dawn, but didn't like the second one or the third one or the series.
Yes. From Dusk Till Dawn is one of my favourite movies of all time. I hate the sequels 2 and 3. They're both garbage. I think they came out back to back. The second and third one, they were just chucked out straight to DVD crap. Now, the second one's got a really good concept. I like the idea of it, but yeah, you can't even rate it really because it is a straight to DVD movie. The first one is obviously a massive production.
Yeah, do you know as well, the TV show, which I tried to give it a chance.
I did, yeah.
No, they tried to make the Quentin Tarantino character, what's his name in it?
Seth.
Seth. No, I don't know.
There's Seth and Richie Gecko. He's Richie Gecko.
Richie, yeah. So the Tarantino Richie character, the unhinged one, brother, they try to make him like he's unhinged because the vampires are getting in his head. They're like, oh, fuck off. He's just unhinged.
That's wrong, like.
Shit, that is.
What I will say is, it took me ages to get into the first season, but once they got into the titty twister and they started exploring the catacombs at the back of it, I was like, oh, I'm really getting into this. And then I enjoyed it enough to watch the second season when that came out. And I watched about 4 episodes. And I was like, there's a reason From Dusk Till Dawn didn't get a sequel with George Clooney's character, Seth, in Juarez. Because the best thing about that film was the characters and the titty twister. Do you know what I mean? We don't need to see them after that.
Yeah, totally. Which horror movie killer do you think you could take in a fight?
Easy.
Do you know, I was going to
Chucky,
say,
all day.
oh, 100% Chucky.
If we have to take Chucky out of it because it's too easy.
All right.
Take
yeah.
Chucky out of it. Who do you reckon you could beat in a fight?
Well, I don't even think I could beat Kathy Bates because she's a big lady, you know, and she's not. You know, I thought of her first of all because she's like a woman. I thought, I could take a woman, but like, I don't know, man. She's pretty strong.
Do you know? I reckon I could take Freddy Krueger with my teeth grinding when I'm sleeping. He'd be like, "Oh God, no!" Do you know, like Freddy in there? He like scrapes his arms across the chalkboard. That's me grinding my teeth in my sleep.
Well,
he'd hate it.
Do you know what? Right? I'd probably be able to take Michael Myers out because
couldn't.
Oh, come on, he's a man.
No chance.
No, not because I know he's about 8 foot tall and stuff, and he's strong. I'm not saying I could take him in a fight 1-on-1, but he's so slow and he's not supernatural. You could just
you like your chances, like
you could just set up a trap. You could do so much. You could shoot him with a rifle from far away. It's nonsense. At least with Jason, he's a supernatural thing. So you're thinking, well, yeah, he walks, but somehow he can sometimes fly or teleport, like in number 8. Yeah, so there's my answer. Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. I'm taking Warwick Davis's Leprechaun all day.
Oh, I tell you what I'll take. No, I've changed my mind. I'm taking Zelda from Pet Sematary.
Oh, she's fucking dying in bed, man.
She's not even a villain.
No, I know.
Fucking I'm having her. She's terrifying, though. I know we were talking about Pet Sematary earlier. She's terrifying.
Horrific.
And she got nothing to do with Pet Sematary, but she's just somehow the main villain. Chucky Geordie. Dog Soldiers is great. I've met Neil Marshall. Oh, fair play. He went to school with my brother and he used to watch horror films at my house. That
is awesome. I love Doomsday too. Very underrated film.
What a surprise. Curtis loves Doomsday. It's a piece of shit.
It's not a piece of shit, man.
It's not a piece of shit, but
it's better than Strange Darling.
No fucking way. Well, go on Rotten Tomatoes, I love. I wasn't a big fan of Dog Soldiers, but I respect it because it's a very low budget. But you know, you're talking Descent is so good. Oh, and then Doomsday. I think because it was Descent. Yeah, sorry, Doomsday came after the Descent, and it's just too much to compare. Like, oh, what a fall. I'm outnumbered here, I think. It's the same with Hostel 1 and 2 are good. The third one was crap.
100%.
I wouldn't say it was crap. For a straight-to-video, I didn't mind it, but I almost disconnected from the first two because they're so awesome. You know?
Like, part 2 is part 2. It's a follow-on from the first one. Eli Roth directed both movies, and then the third one, which is in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Serviceable film, but compared to the first two, just shit, really, innit?
Yeah, I had some horrible kills in it, but I got to say, because it was in Vegas, it was easy for you to disconnect it from the first two, which made it more enjoyable because you didn't have to compare it. It wasn't just back to Slovakia. Quick fact about Hostel, maybe I've said before, the Slovakian government tried to sue or was really pissed off with the Eli Roth, the company, for ruining their tourist industry, even though it's filmed in Prague. Amazing.
It doesn't matter where it's filmed, does it? It's where it's set, like.
No, they could have set it in Slackley, you know. We've done wonders for our tourist industry. Jenks, he's a bloody beast. I'm not seeing Hostel 3. Honestly, it's not dog shit.
No, it's not.
But it is dog shit compared to the first two, definitely.
Hostel Part 2 is my favourite one, see?
I love it.
It's got that, it's got one of the best scenes where she says to the guy, "Call me C-U-N-T one more time," and he says it, and she rips his bits off and throws in a dog's mouth.
You've just given a spoiler.
Oh, piss off, Jenks.
No,
spoilers. The film's been out about 20 years, man.
Do you know the only gripe I have with the second one, is that they kill Paxton at the start, and I hate when they do that to characters.
Real spoiler there, boy.
Because someone pointed out on one of the comments in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, where in the fourth one they kill off Kincaid, and I've forgotten the other guy's name now. The mute boy.
Yeah.
And the Christine, what's her name? Patricia Arquette's character. And she changed the actress in the fourth one, but they kill them off, and I'm like, don't do that. If they survive one film, just forget about them. Have a new set of people to kill. It takes away everything from the last one.
Yeah, because they built them up so well. And imagine they didn't make a sequel to Part 3. Those guys would have gone on to live their lives.
Yeah.
But they give us a Part 4 and they just get butchered at the start. It doesn't make any sense.
It reminds me of Kickboxer 2, in the Van Damme film, right? He busts his ass to beat Tom Capone in a fight. And at the start of Kickboxer 2, he gets shot by Tom Capone, different actor, obviously, right at the start. I'm like, oh, you fucking... And then he's somehow got another brother. I'm going off kilter here. Talking about Kickboxer. Right. Jackie Joy, have you seen The Kill Count? I love this. I haven't seen... What? Is that a film? Kill Count?
No, it's a YouTube channel, Kill Count.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I love the second. Yeah. Oh, Joey. Yeah, Joey. Yeah, I knew. Kincaid's my favorite character, but I always put those together because in the second one, the fourth one together. Yeah, but I think we're out of comments, Kurt. I'm definitely gonna watch The Substance, and you said you're gonna skip it. You reckon?
Well, not purposely skip it. I really want to see it. I just don't know if I've got the time now to fit that in. Do you know what I mean? I really want to see it, but it may be a streaming one now. It's 2.5 hours long as well. And I got a lot on this week and the next couple of weeks, so I think I'll probably end up skipping that one now.
Could you not watch it on the weekend and like in the days you're not so tired, like an evening one?
Yeah, well, I'm chocked on weekends as well now.
Busy man. What are you doing?
Busy man. That's my business.
No, it's everyone's business on a live stream.
Everyone's business.
Right. Well, I'm going to finish off watching that Walking Dead now. What are you going to do tonight?
Get into bed. I'm probably going to watch The Deliverance tonight because I haven't heard great things, but it's still a new horror film on Netflix. So I've run out of films to watch. I've watched so much in the last week. I'm probably going to chuck that on in bed now, to be honest.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up, we got one more question coming in from Jill John. Which horror character
thanks a lot, Jill.
Would you change? Tired? Would you change places with? Which horror character? Oh, it's got to be Ash. I would be Ash with my hand intact, though.
Right. I'm trying to think of a film where there's hot babes in it.
I know, lesbian vampire killers.
Oh, that's it then. That's it. Or Joey in Dream Warriors 3.
Or the mute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I think we'll wrap it up there. Happy to wrap it up.
Good luck with that one. Yeah. Good luck with that one. Game of Thrones took me years to finish.
I love Game of Thrones.
Guys, great podcast as usual, and I'll catch you on the live next week. Sorry, I'm reading ahead of you here, no, Jenks.
No, it's my fault. I switched to the wrong thing. Piranha 3D. Yeah, Piranha 3D is awesome.
Great film. There we are then, guys.
Yes. All done. Thanks for joining us again, guys. I really appreciate it. And we're trying to do these every week. It seems like we can do them every week. I'm going to try maybe at 6 o'clock is a sweet spot. But, we're finding our feet. We're sort of testing the water, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. So if there's anyone in the chat that would prefer our lives to be a bit later, just let us know, because obviously we want to do these live shows for you. We're not doing them for ourselves. We enjoy engaging with you people. So if there's a time where everyone's available, just let us know and we can always change things around. But I think 6 o'clock is around the time we're looking to do it, to be honest.
Because we have to wait all day, nervous, the guy. Stressed. Come on. But when we do, we love it. But it's just it's a little bit of butterflies. Anyway, right. Cheers, guys. If you love horror reviews, rankings, check out our channel, Twisted Locker, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, all. Thank you.